Hey you, Editor Blazewing here. So right before doing this voiceover, I drank like so much soda for whatever damn reason that it just made my voice sound weird throughout the whole recording. So yeah, if the commentary doesn't sound that good, that's probably why. Anyway, onto the video. I'm sure all you guys are aware by now, but Flood Escape 2 was nominated for the Innovation Awards. Wow, super cool. This is very exciting. I'm like the happy cat jumping meme. Unfortunately, it lost the awards due to Tower of Hell and Obby But You're on a Bike. I could see Tower of Hell getting lots of votes, as even though it's overrated in my opinion, it still has hundreds of thousands of views of people playing it every day. But Obby But You're on a Bike? Really? I swear, this generation's doomed. When I was complaining about it not winning on Evan's server, one of his friends, Nico, said,
Flood Escape 2 is not beginner friendly, so people won't like it.
And my first thought to that was, that's a good ass point. I've seen a lot of people, and even myself during my noob days, dying on a lot of easy and normal maps, maybe because it's difficult to sight read and they don't know where to go, only for the flood to just be too fast for its difficulty and the player drowns. At this point, it all made sense. If you ask me, Flood Escape 2 is a very underrated and well-polished game, looking past any bugs and glitches, some of which are finally getting fixed. But if there was anything else ruining FE2's reputation, it would be the lack of it being beginner friendly. According to research, 90% of new players quit the game almost instantly. Okay, maybe that's a lie. But my point is that new players would often give up almost instantly playing it because it's just too hard for them to learn. How can we fix this? Well, I have a few suggestions. My first suggestion is a tutorial or a guide. No, not that guide. What I mean is for there to be some sort of tutorial going over all the cool mechanics, like wall jumping, sliding, air bubbles, zip lines, and even other mechanics like air diving and the jumpy ladder thing, or whatever the hell you call it. And I don't just mean the map making kit. I mean a full-blown tutorial greeting the players and cool stuff like that. There isn't really much else to say about this. I just want a tutorial to be implemented in the game. Whether if it would be a wait. Oh god, that was completely unplanned. Sorry. Whether it would be a GUI thing or maybe a portal for it. Either way though, I'm really hoping the tutorial gets implemented soon because it might actually help the game out a lot. Sorry this segment isn't very long compared to the other segments on this list, but this is the most straightforward one in this video. My next suggestion is balancing the game modes. I feel like they're somewhat balanced for new players, but as a player upgrades to pro servers, it usually feels difficult for them. I'll get to that in a second, but first of all, I think it's worth noting that I was originally going to say that normal servers should only include difficulties from easy to insane, scratching crazy. However, writing this part of the script, I noticed that Crazy Blocks actually removed crazy from normal servers. Guess Crazy Blocks heard my wishes. Pro is where you can actually find crazy, but should it also include Crazy Plus? Well, considering the current pro server requirements, what I think should be done is for pro servers to include crazy maps but no crazy plus. Then there could be another game mode called expert that you can unlock at level 50, whereas that can include crazy plus. One more thing I want to bring up is chill servers. Chill servers is a game mode that was designed for new players, but for some stupid ass reason, Crazy Blocks removed the possibly biggest reason new players were actually able to stick around. Crazy Blocks, please bring back chill servers. Oh, and I guess chaos servers too, whatever. Now many of these suggestions do tweak the hell out of the current game modes we have, so I understand if Crazy Blocks wouldn't take these into consideration, but I'm sure this could balance the game out more for new players. This one might be the most crucial reason on why new players often give up almost instantly. Just a heads up, I will be going on an absolute rant in this segment, so it's going to be longer than the previous two combined. First thing I want to mention, the pacing on easy maps most of the time don't fit for their difficulty. Think I'm talking BS? Well, let me prove it to you. I'm going to play Castle Tides with basic pacing, no shortcuts, not even the cool jumpy ladder physics. And if we cut to the door, we notice how close the flood actually is to me. I can tell Illuminati timed the flood to rise as you get to the door, but that doesn't really make it easy, because if you somehow fall in a dumb spot, or a new player gets confused due to lack of indication, then it's game over from there. Another example is Flood Island. What I decided to do was use the Adoing's pacing tester method after I pressed the final button. And oh my god, this flood is so fast I literally had to ditch the tester just to try and beat the map. I ended up beating the map anyway, but had I would have been a second later than I would have been cooked. That's another thing. Sometimes the lava changes way too fast for an easy or even a normal map. A good example for this is Lost Woods. I remember one time I was somehow late enough to die on Lost Woods. To be fair, I was probably being a complete dumbass, but that does not change the fact that it's possible to genuinely fail on Lost Woods. Another issue with older maps is that most of them suffer little to no indication. Now, if we were to add it onto the fast pacing issue, players are at risk of going the wrong way and the flood catches up to them and they drown. Another issue, don't worry, this is the last one, is any skips or save spots that can ruin the game for other players. Like this fallen skip, where if too many people do it and not enough people press the buttons, everyone is screwed. Or maybe that cave system save spot, which obviously stalls the game until exceeded max time does its thing. But even even after all that ranting, I am not trying to say that older maps shouldn't be in the game anymore. In fact, they deserve to stay because they are what Flood Escape 2 kicked off years ago. Even if they don't meet today's FE2 standards, most of them are still icons in the game. Personally, what I think should be done is Crazy Blocks should go through the models of all older maps, and maybe even the newer ones for good measure, and adjust anything genuinely wrong with them. Now I know all you nerds out there are going to talk about the locked in policy, where if a map gets permanent, it cannot be edited in any sort of way, and my response to that is complete bullshit. Yup, I said it. The locked in policy is stupid. I would understand that for highlights, as you wouldn't want them constantly updated and changing gameplay, because that's what happened to Decay and Silo, but I cannot tell you how many times I've died on Fallen because of too many people doing the zipline skip. Sorry this became a full-on rant, but all I'm asking for is for Crazy Blocks to just fix as much stuff for the older maps as possible, because holy, there's a lot of problems with them that could be resulting in new players giving up at trying at the game. So those were 3 suggestions that could potentially help Flood Escape 2 be better for new players, and maybe even keep them sticking around longer. So if any CBG mods or even Crazy Blocks himself sees this video, please take these into consideration, as I'm sure they could help the game out a lot. Yeah, so this commentary was recorded before the whole situation happened in CBG, and I honestly cannot be bothered to re-record it. I've already had to postpone this video because of the situation alone, so like, could you really blame me? Now, whether I do successfully get this message out or not, I may actually make a video tutorial on how to actually get good at Flood Escape 2. As of right now, I only have the idea of it, but I'm sure some of y'all would be excited for one. Anyway, that's it for the video. I hope these suggestions can be taken into consideration, and I'll see you goobers next time. See ya!